Fuck. Oh, I'm in.
I'm still on connecting to server. What world did you get on?
407.
407?
First thing we did coming out of Deadman mode was to send our mains to the Gnome Stronghold and cash in on 30 agility. Then we ran over and met up with our alts who were killing blue dragons for some bones and blue dragon hides for GP. Running straight to the wilderness altar with those bones, we went and got overhead prayers. After that, our plan was to set up and basically train range and get 51 agility for the Moss Giant shortcut. This would end up being our escape for the later game. And there's 51 agility.
Where are you?
With the Moss Giants.
What is wrong?
You procced on him, yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. I'm sorry.
See you later, Tim. I'm sorry, Tim. Almost dead.
So after ruining Tim's day, we broke our bracket and we ended up going into the rift breach with protection. This meant that other players could not attack us and we felt comfortable going to multi.
Come on, just give us some loot, dude.
It was kind of funny seeing Rex and some of the other crazy bosses out here in the wilderness. But honestly, just seeing the drops was insane. You can see I had a chance at it with the MVP, or at least MVP participation. That Red Laurie guy got a corrupt Void Waker from that. Pretty jealous, but you know, tier 5's okay. But yeah, a lot of GP from this. And heading in after, gonna claim our museum and start some Wilderness Slayer. Really just the goal here is to start working towards going to the next bracket and cash in some Laren's keys. Laren's keys were basically the best moneymaker at the time. We had soul runes buying for like 60 GP at the start of a rift and then selling for 100 like an hour later. Ended up using them to buy more Laren's keys until people realized 20k is way too fucking cheap for Laren's keys. And we made bank off these, honestly.
I believe that we can win. 3 room profit.
Yo!
Diamonds is pretty good, right?
Bro!
Holy shit.
It's fucking juiced, dude. Like I said, like gems are good right now.
Holy literally 3k each. Holy fuck.
Gems got a key.
True. Forgot about okay. Magic seeds.
Well, bank value. I mean, do.
That's fucking
But-
spooky.
He was by himself.
Rubies are
Ooh,
good.
that's probably good. Yeah, I don't see anyone.
The
Just don't
run
die.
energy and the wolves are
Do you want me to go up and try and meet you?
Why don't you just sit there and wait for your run energy?
Still have
Stamina
stamina
go.
ticking.
Alright, after our Wildy Slayer adventures, our melee stats were really starting to fall behind, and if we wanted to
Looks
keep
like you
pushing
got
to the
put
next
in blocks a
brackets
couple
for
times,
the
that's
better
what I feel like.
better breaches and the protection and stuff, we really needed to get some combat stats. Our fastest way into this was to knock out the fight arena, the grand tree, and honestly, just AFK some other stats to try and get us to that next bracket.
Oh, I didn't
So
know
we
of any.
started off with the fight arena,
'Cause you only get you can go Grand Exchange.
knocked out Tree Gnome Village, and finally ended up with the Grand Tree. This put us at like 64 attack, and then we just AFK'd strength for a while to get into the next bracket. We chose Monkey Bandits 2,
Oh shit.
and decided to go kill some demonic gorillas.
It's 4 worlds. There's
Should
a
I,
chance.
okay, so should I go to sleep?
1 KC. Forgot my combat potions using a starter sword because Dragon Scimitar's not buying for 118k and the shop is sold out on the actual island. What are we getting? Something good. Come on. Rune Chain. That's actually really good. Actually, it's probably on me.
It's probably, I think it is.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Grab it.
Oh my god! Wait, I need to get out of combat. Holy shit, dude! This was worth. It was so worth.
Alright, so we got the first Zenite in the game. And honestly, it is insane and super hype, but the big problem with this drop is that 1, there's really not many Onyxes in the game. 2, there's not a lot of people with 90 crafting that can actually turn it into something right now. So selling it is next to impossible because you're never going to get a fair price for it. Most of the people that have the crafting level are still in bracket 1 and 2, and we really can't trade them. So just decided to throw it in the deposit box, and I'm knocking out 70 range just to get ready for the next breach, which starts very shortly. We don't have protection this time, but we're still feeling pretty confident. We'll see you there.
Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we dropping? Come on.
Yeah.
Alcarid, mine.
Alcarid.
Oh, I can actually go there. I have a dueling ring.
So yeah, we chose the singles variant of the bosses. We didn't really want to go to multi without protection. We're not really in a clan. We're just chilling, doing this by ourselves. Honestly, I feel like the breaches scale with the combat bracket that you're in. I feel like there were way more bosses here, and honestly, the loot almost felt better. I'm not sure if that was because our damage was lower at the first boss and it's MVP percentage or damage percentage or something that dictates your loot, but we definitely got loot here. Like, it was insane. The amount of stuff on the ground was also just... It was the best. This hyper pushed our accounts like into being able to do more stuff and do more things, and we snowballed off of this really hard, especially coming without protection. If you come without protection, you can actually pick up the drops that other people get. So if people are leaving stuff on the ground, honestly, we just tagged a couple of the guys and just started picking up a bunch of loot. We weren't super confident in our ability to grab MVPs, but you know, being able to pick up all the rune items, like look at all the alchables. We have like 1 to 2 million alks right now. Like, honestly, I shouldn't have even sold all the stuff that I did, because what we realized shortly after this clip is that the alchemaniacs started coming into the game. The meticulous mages started becoming more available, and we made a lot. We decided to start buying wrath runes because they were right after the breaches. The supply of them was so insane and nobody was using them. You could buy them for like 70, 80 GP. So I bought like 1,000 soul runes, and like I think Dabe bought about 5,000 wrath runes, which was an insanely smart investment. And I ended up going back later and buying like 1,000 or 2,000 wrath runes as well for really cheap. I didn't get them quite as cheap as he did, but that was our way of training magic. We didn't know up to this point how we were going to do it, but we ended up just buying the alch sigils and honestly going for it. It was a huge, like, props to him. He came up with a great idea.
When you said?
Yeah. Now the real thing is, if I can go up here and buy, what's this other one? Meticulous Player. So I can Broadbolt.
Oh, my Meticulous Mage bot. Cool.
Nice.
Yep, and after Dave comes up with the most smurf idea / investment of all time, this was our next, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, I think it was.
What is your second base?
I was like, what is that, a hand job? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's not that
oh,
far.
I got my rune defender. Pog.
Huge 80 magic. 76.
Oh, okay, I got my Dragon Defender.
Okay, after the Defender grind, we are dangerously close to moving into the next combat bracket.
Oh my God,
We are selling Ruthless Ranger for somehow 900k. I'm sure it's more by now, but at the time that was a ton. We bought the Augmented Thrall Relic and the Trinket of the Undead to get thralls that deal up to 9 damage. We wanted the insane DPS on these bosses to pray that we could get some MVPs for some of the PvP weapons or the corrupted weapons, because we really wanted one of these big ticket items.
I use your thrall?
Yeah, I already did.
Of course, mine's a melee one.
And again, this is what I meant about, I'm pretty sure that the loot scales with the level or combat bracket that you're in, because if you pay attention for a little bit into the chat box, we're just seeing non-stop corrupted weapons. We're getting non-stop archaic emblems, non-stop trinkets. Like, it just was pouring in, and like even the base loot for the supply drops was better. I don't know if the bosses had more HP and that's what was going on, but and more HP equals more loot, but we were killing it. We were honestly killing it here.
I'm gonna hit this Abbey Demon.
I got a Zuriel staff from Rex.
Dude, what the fuck? I mean, get out. Put it in. Go put it in your safe deposit box. Come back. There's a bank like right next to you.
I mean, they're not gonna leave right yet. That's insane.
Oh yeah,
though.
true. You have protection. You have protection.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Holy shit.
Dude, you're getting spooned.
Yeah, so that was probably one of the better items we could have got next to like Vesta's longsword. I mean, because even this we could sell for more than a shadow was worth at the time. We could sell for more than most of the corrupted items were worth at the time. Currently, I think that the shadow is now more expensive, but when we got it, yeah, it was definitely worth more by a lot. Actually, I think shadow at this point was worth like 1.1, and Zuriel staff was worth like 2 mil. So this was huge. Yeah, and the one major downside to this, though, was that our plan for this was to end up at TOA. Bring in Fangs, Lightbearers, and try to do the raid. We wanted to be the first people to do it. We got there, presumably first. Not sure. The board had no completions when we showed up. But what we quickly realized was that without buying like a Shadow, T-Bow or something with all the money that we had, like we would have had, I was doing 26s here. Like we would have been like, what, 8 downing this boss, maybe more. So yeah, honestly, it just didn't happen. Yeah, and honestly, at this point, we figured the amount of GP that we'd have to invest into either A, losing money on swaps as the rate goes down, B, into gear that we'd have to risk at TOA since it's not a safe zone. We just decided that he was going to do revs in Zulrah, and I was just going to cash out while the rates were still 1 to 20, 1 to 25, and so on. Honestly, though, I had a blast playing Deadman, especially with Dabe. I couldn't thank him enough for actually doing this with me. I made a boatload of money, and after the Zuriel staff and a couple of the other things sold, I made even more than you see here, up to almost 200 mil. Honestly, I had a blast. Deadman was a lot more fun than I gave it credit for, and I would definitely do it again.